Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to you, sir. So me and my group mate, we all decided to choose Umar al-Khattab as our leader. So for the introduction, Umar is decided as a middle-aged man with a brown skin, with hands are engaged, that allowing them to work at the same time. He stands tall and has a powerful body. His structure is so far above average. Umar appears to be riding something when he is among a throng. Umar al-Khattab is often regarded as one of the most capable governors in Islamic history. His ability to rule was also directly tied to his personality and attitude. So Abu Bakr is one of the Khalifa Ar-Rashidin. At first, Umar served his concern and learned a great deal from Abu Bakr. After that, Abu Bakr said on his deathbed that Umar is a successor person who then be chosen to be the next Khalifa after his death. And then Umar ruled the government for 10 years. Umar's first priority was to consolidate his hold over the empire and get a grip on the administration. And then he turned his attention towards the ongoing campaign in Iraq and Syria.
So next, we're going to talk about leadership traits. There are 5 traits of leadership possessed by Saidina Umar ibn al-Khattab that made him a leader who was feared by the enemy as well as led and respected by the people of Medina at that time. The 5 traits are justice, integrity, humility, empathy, and creativity. So the first one, we talk about justice. Umar al-Khattab is a ruler who is just and responsible for the safety, security, and prosperity of his people. He did not bias and set aside the question of self-status, and whoever was found guilty will still be punished. Umar's justice and greatness in ruling the Islamic kingdom was felt by the people of Medina and the community throughout the vast Islamic region. Second is empathy. Saidina Umar was always concerned with the welfare and well-being of his people. He went down to the streets of Medina as well as the surrounding villages at night just to see the state of affairs of the people. Through it, a peaceful, prosperous development and prosperous country will be born. So next is we talk about integrity. Umar al-Khattab stipulated that all the wealth of the country was for the use of the people. When he was stabbed by Abu Lu'lu'ah, he managed to make a will to appoint the next ruler. He preferred the comforts of his people to his own life. Next is humility. Umar is the one who always practiced humility in his leadership. During his administration, he started to renew the status of the slave position. Umar once dismissed an officer who did not visit his 6 employees. And the last one is creative. Umar bin al-Khattab was a leader who practiced creativity in all forms of ideas and administration. There were many new endeavors which he had created during his reign. The pay system for soldiers and government employees, the postal system, the beginning of police posts are some of his innovation. Thank you.
There are 2 values that serve as an example for the people in observing all forms of administration and actions practiced by Umar ibn al-Khattab. The 2 values are loyalty and professionalism. Umar was a leader known for his loyal nature shown to his people no matter what the circumstances. Afiful states that a leader must have a distinctive, intelligent, noble, and steel-minded. However, it all means nothing without the loyalty of his subjects. He strongly emphasized honesty and the element of mutual help, helping each other despite different ranks and standards of living. Social class differences are not an obstacle for Umar in becoming a person who cares about the fate of those under him. He was firm in He was firm in taking action against guilty individuals regardless of social status. He was also loyal in continuing the administrative delegation of Rasulullah SAW during his reign by practicing and emulating his noble nature in carrying out his tasks and duties. The leadership style he used was democratic in that he gave governors the opportunity to present ideas in every meeting of his administration. Although he was a very firm and fierce man, yet he was also very considerate of the people. He succeeded in applying the value of loyalty towards his people. Second, he strongly applies for professionalism in all situations, especially when it comes to his administration. The professionalism he practiced has led to a series of Islamic successes as an example of the conquest of the Byzantine army by bringing in only 40,000 fighting soldiers with 120,000 men at the Battle of Yarmouk. He also maintained his professional nature by not praying in the church around Jerusalem after successfully capturing the Byzantine army instead of praying elsewhere, to respect the sanctity of the Christian religious sites at the time. He also attached great importance to excellent workmanship in every administration. He constantly reminded all governors in applying the characteristics of intact leadership in doing every job. As narrated by Umar, the strength in working and striving is to not procrastinate today's work to tomorrow. He also stressed that leaders should not burden the people with various burdens. Therefore, a leader must administer the people's money well without malpractice, manage the country according to the livelihood needs of the people, preserve the country from all forms of aggression, and create harmony among the people. For him, working and striving are the conditions for success.
Assalamualaikum sir. So, on today's topic, I'm going to talk about Umar bin Al-Khattab leadership principle. So there are 3 leadership principles that I'm going to talk about in this video. So the first one is technically and tactically proficient. So Umar bin Al-Khattab, every step of the work must be orderly and systematic. There are 3 leadership principles that have always been applied by the people during his reign. The military aspect of this is very important in helping to win a war. He says Umar bin Al-Khattab military dominance during the time of Umar bin Al-Khattab was very remarkable. So his next principle is to know and look after for your people well-being. So Caliph Umar is well known for his character that leads to justice in passing the law on offenders regardless of status. He was also very concerned about the welfare of his people. The wealth of the country did not belong to the leaders, who could be treated according to their laws. So that is the second principle of Umar bin Al-Khattab. The third principle of Umar bin Al-Khattab is to develop a sense of responsibility and accountability in his people. Governors should have an admirable attitude, such as honest and responsible in performing all tasks, says Umar bin Al-Khattab. He also stressed that every individual should be given appropriate rights through administrative transparency. Failure to exercise the right to equality will raise major issues as well as threaten harmony to society. So that is the 3 leadership principle of Umar bin Al-Khattab. Thank you, sir. So that is all for the leadership principle of Umar bin Al-Khattab. And as you can see, there is 3 principles. So that is all from me. Thank you again.
So in conclusion, there are several values, strength, principle, and behavior, also some traits that Umar al-Khattab applied during his region. Then from this we can see that is the character of effective leaders. This noble nature of leadership should be an example for everyone in carry out their duties regardless of whatever they are, administration, businessman, whatever they do, even a class leader or a family leader. So we can apply all these character of Umar al-Khattab in our life, in daily life also can. So that is all from us. Thank you so much.